with another WWE 2K22 Let's Play. Just gonna fool around with Universe Mode and talk about the recent updates and basically with all the news, just a whole data dump of information the past few days. You know, all the 2K YouTubers are in full force. Smack Talks, Revolution, Assemble, Marshall T, BDE. I think the only one who hasn't been really pushing anything is Chris Danger. That's because he's actually trying to become a wrestler. And, he's not, he even said, he's not going to be too enthusiastic about it because, 2K kind of murdered his hype for these games over the past few years. But the newer channels, who's covering this for content purposes, they are all in. Long story short, don't really care about the new call options somebody showed possible to mail. You can change the weight and height now. You can choose the weight to make your wrestler skinny. You can check a body type, make them skinnier, make them larger. Don't really care. Don't really care until they bring back body morphing. Body morphing and boob physics for the female wrestlers. I really don't care at this point. I've been reselling some leftover games I had. I sold doubles of some wrestling games I had. I met another fellow wrestling game lover, but this guy is more of a diehard collector. He's collecting, every wrestling game he can get his hands on. So I went back to play some of the older wrestling games, and I just realized that 2K22 is basically a modern day version of the first SmackDown vs. Raw game. Not the first SmackDown game, but when the series started calling itself SmackDown vs. Raw. Alright, hear me out. The PS2 era, I believe, started out with SmackDown Just Bring It. It was just kind of like a slightly graphical upgrade over the SmackDown series from the PS1. And then Shut Your Mouth, which I still have. I never bought Just Bring It because graphically it looked ugly. It was a hot mess. And it was basically a PS1 game on the PS2, and it was ass. Didn't bother getting it. I got Shut Your Mouth one day. I think it was back in, when did I get it? I think I got it. I don't know if I got it. I think I got it before COVID hit or during COVID. I don't know. But bought the game for like $9 on eBay and played it. It was nice. The story mode is decent. Old school wrestling game. What was cool about it, it had like so many different match types. The roster was pretty decent. I didn't really follow wrestling like after the Hulk Hogan like 80s era. I think the last time is like when I was a kid, wrestling was big. It was like the last time I cared about wrestling as a kid was Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, and Zeus. And then after that, it was just I didn't care about it. So I skipped the whole new generation. Bret Hart and all of them fools. And I didn't watch the Attitude Era, even though during that time I was working at places and people were kept on saying Stone Cold Steve Austin says so. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You don't watch wrestling? I'm like, nah, I don't watch that shit. And I skipped the whole, most of the Ruthless Aggression era up until the end of it. I didn't get back into wrestling till around 2008 when SmackDown vs. Raw 2009 dropped. That's when I got back into wrestling. And so I started buying older games. Like I said, I got Shut Your Mouth. I bought Here Come the Pain. I didn't buy any of the PS1 titles. Don't really want to go back that far. I did buy some PS1 titles. Like I said, the only time I bought wrestling games were for the creator wrestlers. Just for the fact I knew I can create female wrestlers and shit like that. But yeah, 2009, the graphics and, the gameplay was pick up and play friendly, but it was really the graphics. In fact, Like I said, graphically, that game still holds up to this day on an HD television. It's like, I consider myself a graphics whore, but I'm more about, you know, character design, stuff I can do in a game. And like, I can let some things slide graphically, but 2009 holds up to this day in terms of character models and, you know, stuff like that. Um, but I remember when I picked up SmackDown vs. Raw, that game, it came out after Here Comes the Pain. Here Comes the Pain, graphically, it's alright. It's not, you know, it's not a great looking game. It's not. I know some people will probably differ, but SmackDown vs. Raw, when it came out, it's what set the standard for the series moving forward. Graphically, it was better than Here Comes the Pain. But as far as gameplay options and stuff you could do, it was not as good. It took a lot of options out the game that you could do in Here Comes the Pain. It took a lot of, creative wrestler options. Like I said, it was a whole new graphical engine. There was some jank with the game. And, there was a lot of issues with the game. There was some enjoyment out of it because, like I said, it set the standard for the SmackDown versus Raw series moving forward. And up until, I would have to say, probably the PS4 era is when they started to stray from that formula and they started to go with the simulation aspects. But, yeah, for about, from SmackDown vs. Raw up to WWE 2K14, it was just built on top of that engine. So SmackDown vs. Raw, it came out, it had some, I think it had like bra and panties matches, some other shit. No, I had like, I think something your fantasy or some shit. But it had a story mode. I think it was the first story mode where they had voice. I think it was. I don't know if it was that. I think yeah, it was the first game that had voice. I think. I don't know. Cuz like I said, it comes down to the next game after SmackDown versus Raw. But SmackDown versus Raw, I would say WWE 2K22 is this generation's SmackDown versus Raw. The first, the game that started the whole SmackDown versus Raw series. But based on what I'm seeing with 2K23, with all the additions, they adding 100 more moves. That's because they're adding in like 40 more wrestlers into the game. So that's a given that there's going to be more moves. It's like, I know some channels are like, oh my God, they're putting in more moves. Like, of course, they're putting in more wrestlers. Put two and two together, man. Come on, think. But another thing I noticed, they brought the video. Well, they brought the advanced entrance back. Even though they have a new kind of, what do you call it, HUD for doing it, it's almost the same with the video editor. I don't know if you could do more with it. I only saw a screenshot of it. But it looks like you might have some more options to do some stuff with it. Hopefully, it's better than the video editor because, like I said, in 2K19, I could do things with the video editor that I couldn't do with the creative entrance editor. That, as far as making, content. So that's a plus. I got to see what the, the whole HUD of it looks like and things like that. So it's in the game. That's a plus for me. They did fix Lita's model because Lita's model looked like a hot mess. It did. And they heard all the complaints, so they fixed it. But probably the build of the game, they knew it was a hot mess, and I think they were going to fix it anyway. They just put a better skin texture on her face. Still kept that dumbass attire, though. But I'm sure they'll have, like, a different attire for her when you unlock her in Showcase. They're adding more match types to GM mode. They're adding a whole bunch of match types and titles. They still got that dumbass system where you have to, match up different classes against each other, but they balanced it out with a whole superstar system. So let's just say you want to put two brawlers together. If they both have high superstar ratings, you'll probably get a good match out of that because they're both superstars. It's a match people want to see. So hopefully that'll balance out the whole, class system they got going on in GM mode. You can play for longer seasons. You can go for multiple years. They still have the price, in terms of money you start out with hella low. I don't know, maybe they're playing real world wrestlers less these days, but in the old school SmackDown vs. Raw game, you started out with 10 million, but I think the most you can start out is 3 million. Um, what's some other fixes? As far as created arena, I think they brought back the gymnasium from WWE 2K20, so you might be able to either make a creator arena or it might be an arena you can play in. Because I know they do. I would love to have the Japanese arena, the little small one in 2K19. That was basically a replica of the Stardom arena as created arena, but they made it playable in exhibition mode, but you couldn't use it in universe mode, or they didn't have a template for it in 2K19. So I hope they bring those type of arenas, templates for creative arena. That'll be a huge plus. Um, Gameplay wise, it's the same game. Hopefully they fix some of the jank, because the gameplay there is some jank with the gameplay. It is what it is. The gameplay is fun when you're playing it as far as a multiplayer experience with other people. But as a wrestling simmer, a person who simmed these games, the gameplay is kind of lacking. Even though I think with one update they tweaked the AI, to where the AI is a little bit smarter. And I also learned to tweak wrestlers to wrestle a certain way, as far as having some wrestlers not having reducing their high flying or running attacks or their springboards, or going into move sets and removing springboards. So you'll have that balance where everybody's not an acrobat and doing high spots, where you can actually get some grappling and stuff in, where you actually have a wrestling match. Um, Speaking of that, one of the things that really piqued my interest with the recent updates is I think you can go through exhibition or go through the superstars. There's a menu where you can tweak individual wrestlers AI. This, for simmers, is a game changer. If you're a wrestling who just sim games and have your own universe for content, this is a game changer. Because I think the only thing that the Fire Pro Wrestling games have, in my opinion, over these type of games, the 2K games, is the fact you can go and micromanage how your wrestler wrestles. You can pretty much set how often they do a specific move, when they do a specific move, and stuff like that. You could micromanage how your wrestler AI wrestles. And it's cool that they have this menu where you can do that with individual stars. So let's say, for instance, you can have, like in my perfect example, I have two versions of my call Anna Black. I have a younger version. Well, I have a younger version. When she was just starting out her career, even though she's a powerhouse and a giant, she can do, well, she's not a giant. She's only like 6'4", but for a woman wrestler, that's still pretty damn tall. She can do high flying moves. She can do stuff off. She can do springboards, and she'll go to the top rope a lot more often. She's a lot more agile. When she started out wrestling in her mid-20s. So this is the younger version of her. And so, but I also have an older, version of her, where it's like where I have her actually in the WWE. This is her WWE persona. I'm gonna have her wrestle in the modern day WWE. The younger version is strictly Sexy Libre version of her, but this is her WWE version, where I'm gonna have her team up with Finn Balor. She's gonna be her his manager and stuff like that. Hopefully, get him to win some titles in Universe mode. And she does not do any springboards. She does have one springboard where she'll run against the ropes. She'll run into it and then she'll rebound off of it to do a clothesline, but she's not jumping into the air. I forgot whose move it was. I think it was. I don't. I think it was. Dang, I forgot what wrestler used it, but it was like a powerhouse wrestler that did it. She'll go top rope once in a while, but I reduced her how far she goes. I only gave her a 60, like as far as her range and how effective she is with going off the top rope. But she'll go top rope, a few times in a match. But her whole thing is striking and grappling. That is her whole how she wrestles in the ring. She's older. This version of her is in her mid 40s, and yeah, this is her late in her career. But with the new AI system introduced in 2K23, I don't have to worry about going into the wrestler, move set or whatever. I could just go into the AI and be like, okay, I don't want her doing, no springboards. I don't want her even going top rope. I can have it to where I can set it to where go really in detail. Like if I made her like a submission specialist, like some of my wrestlers are submission specialists, I can have it to where I can set her AI to go for a lot more submissions in a match, which is really, really cool because I do have some high flying hybrids who do submissions, but I want them to do submissions more because if you let the computer do what they want, they really do submissions, especially if you have them set as a high flyer or a technician. They don't do a lot of submissions. It's like once in a while you'll get a submission off a counter, off a reversal. And if you have like a submission set as a signature or finisher, then they'll do the submission. But just in match, they don't do submissions that often. Even if you create like a wrestler built around submissions, they don't do them that often in 2K22. But with this new individual AI system, you can really tinker with how your wrestler will wrestle when you simulate matches, which is awesome. So that is a game changer for me. It's hard right now because I told people if you watch my past live stream that I'm not going to be a day one buyer, but that AI slider alone might get me to buy it day one. It just might get me to buy it day one. Um, it might get me to buy day one and tolerate all the initial bugs and issues of 2K23. Like I said, I might sell some stuff that I don't want to get it. Either that or talk to a buddy to see if he can get it for me cheaper. Because I really don't want to spend $65 on it. Like if I can get it for like $40 or yes, brand new, day one, I'll get it. But $65, that's a tough sell for me. Not because I'm broke, it's just because I'm cheap. I'm cheap. Um, so as far as the DLC, I saw the DLC packs coming out. The DLC pack sucks. This is probably the most underwhelming DLC packs in a long time. The roster overall, you're getting a lot of NXT scrubs. Yes, I said I don't watch NXT. I don't watch WWE. I barely even watch the main programming. I watch highlights of SmackDown and Raw and the pay-per-views. I don't even watch it on TV. I watch the highlights of SmackDown versus Raw and the pay-per-views. And I don't watch none of the highlights concerning NXT at all. None. Don't watch it. Don't care about the product. Because a lot of the people get caught up and they just do shitty on the main roster. It's like I'm surprised that Dana Brooke still has a job, but like I said, if you just do your job and kiss the ass and don't cause no trouble, the WWE will have a spot for you. you know, because I don't know. I remember she had the 24/7 title for a hot minute. I wonder what happened to Reggie, that head athletic black guy. I know they couldn't make him a regular wrestler because of him being a more of a gymnast athlete. That he would get beat up and get hurt. Probably injuries took him out, and that's why he's no longer on TV. But yeah, so far the new AI, you know, to tweak AI of your individual wrestlers, might make me want to get 2K23 day one. Other additions, like I said, I don't care about the roster. It's a bunch of NXT people. Don't really care. Don't watch NXT. It's like it's just a lot of NXT people on the roster. It's like, with Sasha Banks not being in the game, that's a heavy hitter out of the women's division. You don't even have Naomi in the game. That's another, mainstay since, she's been in the game since, dang, how far back? Maybe 2015, 2016. Um, yeah, so the women's roster majority is going to be, no Tony Storm, 2K23. Um, yeah, I saw all the entrances. It's like majority it's NXT people, majority it's NXT people. And it's like if you're in the NXT, more power to you. It's not my thing, but if you're an NXT mark, you will probably enjoy, 2K23's roster. Showcase mode, I like the idea where you have to beat John Cena. It's different. It's something John Cena would do because he's just that type of guy. He's part of the most non-egotistical, main event superstar that WWE ever had. Um, what else? As far as my rise, I like the fact that they say you can use your created wrestler now. You can like basically I could bring, Wildcat Suzuki or Star Suzuki and just put them in the mode instead of creating them inside the mode. The modes you can play with your creative superstars, and you don't have to build up their stats or whatever, like you're just following a story, which I think is cool. But I kind of would like to build like a character in the mode, build up their stats and then export them out and just use them whatever I built them up to in the regular game. I don't know. We got to see how that turns out. My faction is just my faction from what I've seen so far. Um, yeah, other than that, I do believe that 2K23 is going to be the modern day version of SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. So hear me out. 2006 was a huge improvement. I mean, a very, not huge, but a very noticeable improvement over the first SmackDown vs. Raw game. It was a drastic improvement in all aspects. Graphics, gameplay. It introduced GM mode. You create a title. I think you create a title in the first SmackDown vs. Raw. I don't know, I have to check.
It's one that the locker room is wanting
but
to see. It's one that the WWE
it had online play.
It's one that I've
you
been
can, fight for belts and shit.
It
was just a better overall game, even though if you play tag teams in the mode, tag teams in that mode was ass. But 2K23 is pretty much is going to be a modern day version of SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, which is a very good game. 2K22 was the first SmackDown vs. Raw, which was okay. It set the foundation. But this game has a lot of issues. It has a lot of jank. I gotta uninstall and reinstall this game again probably before I go to bed tonight, because when I try to edit my superstars, I get the infinite load glitch again. So yeah, this game technically is a hot mess. That's why I'm afraid of buying 2K23 day one, because I know they just built on top of this engine. I know they built on top of it. I know they did. So, that's why I'm hesitant to buy 2K23 day one. Granted, when I bought 2K22 day one, I didn't have no infinite load glitches. I didn't. There was no issues with the game when it first came out day one, in my opinion, as far as creating wrestlers and shit.
A competitor
You know, the
who is
only jank
always
was in some moments in the
laser-focused on the
gameplay, and I noticed some moves were
competition. I
missing
expect big things from
and
her
things
tonight.
like that. But outside of that, Day 1 2K22 wasn't a bad game. It wasn't until they released some recent patches that the game started technically going to shit. But yeah, so far so good. It's like I fully bought into the FOMO last year with 2K22. Bought it day one. There's a lot to like about this game graphically. I like it. I like the game. I also been with it for almost a year now. So people can put stuff on, you know, the creation suite. Making really creations to where I can make some really good, decent looking claws. Oh my god, did you just see that, Jake? Did you just see that shit? That was some shit! Like I said, this game has some jank. But it wouldn't be a SmackDown game, it wouldn't be a WWE game if it didn't have no technical jank. But, like I said, they've been making this games for like over 20 years. I think the first SmackDown vs. Raw came in, what, 2001? 2002? So yeah, 20 years. And there's still a little bit in this game. Oh my god, is my crowd not reacting? I gotta make a different crowd. Yeah, that crowd is dead. Except for people in the middle rows. Like in the front, people are dead. They're like still, yeah. So I gotta make sure that I have the audience set on Golden Age. Because if you don't have it set on Golden Age, you're gonna have dead crowds when you go through it arena. Yeah, this crowd is dead. But right now I got the sisters wrestling. Wildcat versus Star.
She scores big with the counter. Knees to the chest.
I think Wildcat have a storyline where Wildcat has a rivalry with Star. Because Star's older, but I think because she's prettier, had more of kind of a modeling career than Wildcat, and Wildcat being, you know, functionally autistic. Even though Wildcat had a modeling career, but Star became a fan favorite. So when they were wrestling, Star got pushed a lot more often than Wildcat. But it's tough. I think they're pretty even as far as in the ring wrestling. It's just Star. She's like Shawn Michaels. She just knows how to pull out wins. She knows how to pull out wins. That's the difference between the two. Star just knows how to win more. She's more marketable. And she just has intangibles that Wildcat doesn't have. This is a new arena I worked on. It looks really good. I like it. I like the lighting and stuff I did with it, but I gotta fix that crowd. That crowd is dead. This match can go either way, but don't be surprised if Star wins it. But Wildcat, she can win. She can win matches though. Wildcat can pull out wins. There's some lag in here. There's some lag in this arena because of I don't think I want to play tag teams in this arena because this is going to be laggy. Because the bigger the arena, with the more interactive crowds, the laggier the match is going to be. That's an issue with 2K22. It wasn't an issue in 2K19. There was some slight frame rate drops when you played in big arena. Also determined what kind of lighting you had. So there was some frame rate issues when you played in large arenas in 2K19, but there wasn't lag. So you can see the visual kind of lag and frame rate drops in this match right now. It's very noticeable. Because like I said, I'm using a lot of lighting. I have extra fog. Yeah, if you fool with those options and just don't, and if you don't add options, I'm sure it'll be less laggy. But the more you add stuff to the arena, the more frame rate drops and lag you're going to get.
She's got her in her sights.
There's just little creation pro tip. Oh, she countered. Oh my god, look at that jank. Oh, this arena. Oh, there's a lot of jank in this arena. And like I said, there's a lot going on in this arena.
A bicycle knee strike. Can she shut the door on this one? What in the world? Unreal. Unreal to kick out there. Not only unlikely, downright extraordinary. I don't know if there's more frustration or desperation in the ring now, knowing that you've tried to end this and failed.
She went back to the corner. This might be a wrap.
Setting it up.
But I don't know. Like I said, they improved the AI with like the last patch to where if you have a wrestler with resiliency, they will kick out of back-to-back finishers. See? Hold it. Yep, hold it. Yep. Yeah, they will kick out back-to-back finishers.
Sometimes when you unleash your best offense and it doesn't get the job done, you're taken out of your game.
If there was anybody, the Wildcat botched this finisher last time. She reversed it.
If this lands, it's over.
That might be it. I don't think I gave Wildcat resiliency. Oh, she kicked out.
I thought that was game over. Pure guts to kick out there. That is firing your biggest shot. Believing your prey left standing. Time to reload. We've got to acknowledge these fans. A packed arena, and we're hearing every single voice. It is loud and
I hope the people who created a lot of parts for coding and stuff return for 2K23. Because I gotta say, Star's outfit, this outfit was all in-game assets. No Photoshop parts or anything like that. So that's in-game. I can make her outfit no problem in 2K23. I can make this outfit pretty easy. But Wildcats, no. Those is like 70% of her outfit. Her top, her bottoms was stuff that people created in community creation, so I just applied to her. Her top and bottoms, yeah, that's somebody put that in community creation. But I know how they did it though, so I could do it. It's gonna take hours to do it. It's gonna take some time to do it. I can't do that bra that Wildcat has on. That was Photoshop, created asset. It got ported into the game. I can't do that. They're pulling all the stops.
Time for her to fight through the pain or shoulders down. This could be the one that does it for her.
But I could remake the bottoms in 2K23 if they didn't really drastically change. I don't know, they kind of tweak the lighting. So whenever they tweak the lighting in this game, like if you change the material, like metallic will probably no longer look truly metallic. You know, and vinyl won't look, and vinyl will end up looking like metallic, and metallic will look like vinyl. Oh, she botched the drop kick. How did she miss that? Stars, Dave. This is a long match. I've been noticing my match goes longer than my match. Yeah, there's some jank. There's Jake. This is
she has to start returning fire fast.
I think this is the longest they ever wrestled against each other. Usually the matches will last like 5 to 6 minutes. This match is going on for about 8 minutes right now.
Kick out. She still has life. I'm shocked that she kicked out. You and I both, Byron.
She countered, getting grabbed. She reversed it. She fell back in the corner. She's going to do that shotgun drop kick. Yep. Star Suzuki signature.
Target acquired.
Love that dude.
She's got it. Got her shoulders down.
It's a perfect setup for her finisher.
The fact that these superstars can still be moving at this point is beyond
whether you want to go in a top rope finisher or in the corner. Right here, she does the Cyclone Enziguri.
This lands, it's over.
Oh, Wildcat reverses it twice. Wildcat might win this match. I think she's gonna win. Yeah, she's gonna win. I've never seen anybody kick out of 3 finishes in this one. If I had on turn on knockout, she probably would have been knocked out on the second finisher. 1, 2, 3, yep. Oh, yeah, 3 finishes. She took 3 to the dome. Wildcat wins it. Good match, though. Match is going to be even better in 2K23 with that AI slider.
Here's another look.
But, you know, with the basic AI in the game, after that last patch, it's gotten a lot better as far as simming matches. I might have to make some tweaks to this arena. I'm afraid to play tag teams in it to see how laggy it is, because this match was kind of laggy. Had a lot of jank. Granted, if you have two high flyers wrestling, well, I think Wildcat's a high flyer, but Star's a technician. He does high flying moves.
Every match is special, but this one just raised the bar even
higher. It's an outdoor. It's pretty much a WrestleMania arena.
Watching this one by the end of it.
Turned out to be an instant classic. That was a good match. Lasted about almost 10 minutes. But yeah, 2K23, as far as being just an upgrade to 2K22, is shaping up to be what 2K22 should have been. It's what 2K22 should have been. But like I said, with developers, they just want to get shit out. And I can understand it from a corporate and business standpoint. You know, if I think of it from that angle, they probably spent 2.5 years just trying to get the engine and the gameplay to work. I think GM mode was planned, and I think it was just added last minute. And I think the real core of their resources, you know, they put in, you know, I had to get the voice acting and the time to do my rise. Universe mode was pretty much ignored. And they spent a lot of time doing my faction, because they figured if the game was going to bomb, they would make up the loss with my faction if they can get people to, you know, pay real money. And my faction does have its own community. It's a rabbit hole. I got into it just to research what all you can do with my faction. I even played like a few hours of it. It's an okay mode if I was in my 20s. You know, if I was in my 20s, or if I was in high school, especially if I was a high school kid and I had, you know, just large amount of time, or if I dedicated my, you know, YouTube channel towards it, I can get a lot out of it. I think there's one YouTuber I follow. He said he put in 500 hours to get all the cards and shit like that and do all the stuff. He didn't pay for anything. And he got a good chunk of the shit. He said, yeah, if you put in the time, you don't have to pay for anything. Yeah, he put in 500 hours. That is a lot of time to put into one build. But you know what? I'm you know, I gotta see it for myself how bad this game is. Well, this arena is with the lag with tag teams. So we're gonna bring up a tag team, do a tag team match. I guess I'll go with my my Native American tag team. Go with Jen Sparks. Jen Sparks. And Laura Wolf. Who should I put them up against? Alright, I'll put them against my ninjas. My ninjas. Let's see. My ninjas are badass. I love my ninjas. Pretty badass team. Oops. Go with her regular outfit. There we go. And have Tia go up in a full ninja outfit. There we go. Let's go back to that arena and see if the game is just going to be a laggy hot mess. Because I was getting some lag in that arena. Pretty evenly matched tag teams. Even though I think I did an exhibition where I think the my ninja girls here, my assassins, won the tag team titles. But you tribal by nature here. They're no slouch as a tag team, so it can go either way. In typical fashion with these wrestling games throughout my years playing and simming them, whoever is the second pick wrestler or team, which will be the team on my right, which is the Ninjas, they will usually win the match most of the time. It's been like that in most of the SmackDown vs. Raw games I played. It was very obvious in SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. It's like if you ever wanted your jobbers to win, pick them second. Pick them second in all their matchups. It doesn't matter what their rating is, they will most likely win the match. They will most likely win. Because I think I picked, I think I picked Wildcat first, and Star Suzuki lost the match, I think. So they did change it. They try to base it more on, ratings and stats with the recent games. And then I think with 2K18, they put in a whole squash match function. So it's like if there's a 15 rated difference between wrestlers, the one who's 15 points higher is just going to squash the other wrestler. Like maybe it'll pop up like maybe 40% of the time. But in 2K19, slowly ratings started to not matter. In 2K22, ratings really don't matter. Because, like I said, if you know how to build your wrestlers right and give them good move sets, because not all the moves are balanced properly. So there's some moves that are going to do more damage than others, and some finishers are more damaging than others. So if you give your wrestler a good move set and give them resiliency, they're going to beat higher rated wrestlers regularly.
And here they come.
I think I got enough space in terms of what do you call it? Utility storage to where I can make these this tag team their own entrance movie. I don't know if I gave the Ninjas with the Assassins ones yet. But I need to finish my Sexy Libre in 2K19. Just like I am focusing on getting all these commissions done so I can go back to streaming regularly. Either that, if I can't stream, I will just do pre-edited or edited matches, with music, the whole shebang, good editing. I didn't turn it off for the tag team matches. Shit. I didn't turn it off. I need to turn that off. I have custom matches turned on. So if you don't turn off the entrance run-in, they're going to do it 70% of the time during your exhibition matches. So make sure you turn it off or switch it to player only. Or a lot of your exhibition matches will start out like this.
And the bell is rung, getting this tag match started.
Here we go.
When you think of tag teams that are itching to make an impact on tonight's event, you don't have to look any further than these two.
Two teams with a desire
So
to
far,
steal the
so
show.
good. They're not moving like they're in the Matrix, like how they were in my other arena.
Goodness.
But I do need to change that audience to a golden age. Because that audience is dead. In the front. I hope they bring back the booty popping moonsault in 2K23. If they don't, I'm going to. That's gonna probably knock off half a point when I rate that game. Gotta have my booty popping moonsault.
A chop. Boom. Tagged in.
All the clothing, well, in terms of the I guess the textures and layering on Laura, I didn't create. That was from the other wrestler somebody created, and I just applied it to her. But I don't know. I think I got a subscriber who's a snitch who'll be watching my shit. Because the only way 2K will take your shit off of community creations is if somebody reported it.
That shoulder targeted
Because
there.
I remembered, if you recall, like a few months ago, I got banned I had a 2-week ban because, you know, I was re-putting my stuff back up, even though I think they gave me a warning. Well, they didn't give me a warning. But I was put in the whole, I put in the description that somebody was recording my shit. So 2K, whoever was at 2K that banned my shit, you know, who took my shit off, you know, they finally banned me. But I think somebody who follows my channel or whatever been snitching. And I'm just gonna rant about that right now. There are some people who take their community creating, their call creating extremely seriously. This goes as far back as probably WWE, I think 13, when they allowed you to, I guess, upload your created wrestlers. So there's a lot of people who take pride, and I guess they build, you know, themselves in the community. I used to follow the call community on certain sites, like SmackDown Hotel and some other sites. Okay, there is some lag. Okay, now it's kind of moving in slow motion. Yeah, there's some lag in this arena. Yeah, there's some lag. It's pretty crowded. If I put them in a smaller arena, there wouldn't be as much lag.
All measured up.
And so, yeah, you get these people in the community who really take pride in their shit, and they don't like people like me who use their, you know, their Photoshop created stuff, their, you know, Photoshop created, you know, parts for clothing and shit, and put it on their created wrestlers. And, you know, I want to tell these people right now, it's like, once you upload your shit, it is no longer yours. It's no longer yours. It's not. It's like, once you upload your shit to community creation for people to download, it's no longer yours. All that hard work is now owned by 2K. I don't know if you read the actual, you know, the EULA, you know, the user license agreement before you, like, play a video game these days. They have you say yes or no in order for you to play a fucking game that you spent money on. It's like you have to say yes to it. In that ULA, they state anything you create in the game is technically theirs. It's like, even if you, like, you know, you make the stuff in Photoshop and you apply it to anything in the game, it's theirs. So I know you guys have your pride and you don't like people biting your shit. If you don't want people using your parts and shit, don't upload it. Don't upload your shit to community creations, because I've uploaded my calls, and even to this day, especially last night, that's somebody did a knockoff of one of the calls I uploaded. You know, they even kept the name the same. The only thing they changed is, like, I think some of the outfit and her face. They made her uglier. But everything else was the same. Because in the game, in the options, when you're going, you know, creating your call parts or, you know, clothing, you can import and copy attire onto your created wrestling. So it's like I said, my little ninja character, somebody made a Black Canary call, a really good Black Canary call, and that's that call's outfit, that bodysuit. You know how they did it. I know how they did it. You know, some of these people are really creative. But it was all game. This was all in-game assets except for the fishnets. The fishnets, they probably got them somewhere else.
Rights and lefts, elbows, knees.
Man, that's what she was going hard on Laura Wolf right now. That is just all in. The tag team matches, they go for a while. They go like 20 minutes. 20 to 25 minutes. I've never seen a squash, like, unless I turn on knockouts. If I turn on knockouts, then the match can go between 7 to 15 minutes. But without knockouts, it will go. I had a few tag team matches in the tie because I have a clock. I like having a clock because it reminds me of the old school wrestling games like SmackDown vs. Raw, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, where you can set from 10 to 30-minute matches. It's like for pay-per-views, I'll turn that off for certain match types. For standard match types, I'll have my little clock there. So far, it's a pretty good match, but like you see, I hope they fixed it to where tag team wrestlers do their tag team moves a lot more often in the corner. Because in 2K19, they do them pretty often, but in this game, it's like non-existent. And it's like, if a match goes on long enough, they may do a tag team finisher.
She'll get sent out the hard way.
Look at Kia right now, she's putting up the money.
Continuing to attack the neck across the top rope.
I don't think Rose is a legal woman.
Beautiful.
No, she's not a legal woman.
Stinging
I think Jen is, yeah. Yeah, she's a call. I put it a music, you know, a highlight reel video up on my YouTube channel. It was like, it was at that point where it's like, all right, finally, I can make some really unique kind of sexy female calls is when I made her. She was the one that started the streak. And I think I made her like around early summer last year. So it took about three or 4 months before some decent stuff was put on Premium Creations. Oh my god. Springboard drop kick. And them heels. Yeah, it's laggy right now because of the freaking arena.
Now she finds herself only playing defense.
Yeah.
She just has to find a
Like I said,
spark
there's some
somehow.
jank. There's some jank with 2K22.
Kick down low. Look out!
But like I said, I got fog up to almost 150.
That took athleticism.
Changed some of
That is
the lighting.
attitude of a daredevil.
I added
The ability
more
to take risks
decals
with
and
minimal
stuff.
trepidation.
No fear.
And plus with the
Absolutely
arena,
reckless
it's gonna
abandon.
cause some lag or some frame rate in these type of arenas.
yeah,
But I like
she's
the arena. I
saying,
might put it in
"Let's
the
go.
studio.
Bring it."
Size, venue, so it won't be as laggy. Yeah, she just throwing her into the ring post. I wish they would have brought back OMGs. I miss OMGs. I do.
I think
I
we're
miss
witnessing a
OMGs.
career-altering moment for these
Especially if I
superstars,
want to
guys.
play the
But
game to
spoils
create
will only
spots
go
for
to the
content.
victor, and I
Oh,
have a
finally
feeling
a
we're
tag
close to
team
finding
move.
out exactly who that will be.
I don't think it was a finisher though.
Boom.
So it was like a good, dang, how many minutes in this match? 30 minutes match?
Nice headlock applied.
Think
Look
about-
at this athleticism.
Dude,
Oh, that was pretty cool.
about 18 minutes since they finally did a tag team move.
She's got the whole WWE Universe rallying behind her. Tag made.
And hot tags, yeah, they took out the hot tag first function where whoever got the hot tag would come in and just started, you know, busting like a little move to knock the other opponent down to give you momentum. They took that out. That was in 2K19.
She got launched.
But yeah, we need OMGs back. They took some shit that they need to bring back. I miss putting people through barricades. I do. I miss putting people against the ring post and doing the OMG where you just kick them in their head. You just boot their head into the ring post. I miss doing the Roman Reigns drop kick slide. I miss doing the Rob Van Dam. You know, insecurity when they're on the barricade. You know, I miss all that shit. They need to bring OMGs back. Because like even doing OMGs,
Kick right to the leg.
dude, until 2K20. Yeah, I think they had OMGs in 2K20. I think so.
She flips it back on her.
But I don't know, 2K20 is just bad. It's like knowing that you buy the game, it's gonna take up like almost 100 gigs off your hard drive of patches. It's like the game took up like 70 like just for the game. But then you're getting like
Into the barricade.
a whole bunch of patches just to fix that shit to make it playable. And just to have the creation suite work. And even when they fixed all that shit, it was still technically janky. So it's just sad. But yeah, it's not worth it buying 2K20. You don't find 2K20 in stores. I still find 2K18, 2K17, 2K19. I still see new copies of 2K22 at GameStops and stores. Not too many used copies because people buy them up. There's another. Okay, now they did a tag team move. Nice. Yeah, you don't get a lot of tag team moves. You don't in these tag team matches. That's some AI you'll have to tweak. Oh yeah, another thing they added, I think an AI tweak they added in 2K23 was in Royal Rumbles. If you have factions, like tag teams or whatever, members in the Royal Rumble, they won't fight each other until they're like the last or final 3 or 4 in the match. Then they'll attack each other, which I thought is a really nice detailed touch.
Here's a tag.
Got the tag. Got the tag.
I think right now, because of AEW game coming out, you're going to see a lot more attention to detail in terms of adding things in the game to make it, immersive to the product. But I think they need to work with the game engine. To me, that's more important than anything, because all that extra shit don't matter if the game plays like shit. Oh, okay, are they going to do their tag team finisher?
Uh-oh.
Dang, it took like over 20 minutes in the match. I started for the rest of
Across the chest. Big impact off the leg
over
drop.
20 minutes in the match, and they start doing tag team moves in the corner. Are they gonna do it again? What do you got? No.
Look at this going right.
I need to get rid of that move.
Got
Yeah, they don't. It's like the normal grapple moves in the corner suck. A lot of them suck.
Being treated like a heavy bag.
Same with like some of the normal, not the heavy moves, when they're on the ground kind of suck. I wish you had a lot more options instead of like 8 or 10 moves you could do.
Just punishing their opponent. Exclamation point.
But yeah, this game, in my review, it's a 6 out of 10. It needed to be better than 2K19. I know I said that before. 2K23, from what I've seen with it, I have to play it. But like I said, it doesn't fix the infinite load glitch to where the creation suite works. Oh my god, there's so many things to do this time. Oh, it's gonna hurt. But if they could fix a lot of the technical jank, which to me is more important than anything, then I think 2K23, I don't know if it'll beat 2K19, but I think it'll get an 8 out of 10. It could get an 8 or a 7, but right now it looks like an improvement. Oh, they did the same move for last time. I don't know if that's a finisher or not.
She wants to finish this.
No, she's going for a finisher. This might be it.
Scissors kick with authority.
See, when I check on knockouts for her, she gets a lot of knockouts with that kid.
Coming to the rescue.
This might end in a tie. Less than 7 minutes in this match.
And that one misses the mark.
Oh my gosh, she pushed her to the ref and she almost went through the ref. Get out the ring, Laura. Keep doing it. Oh my god, she's a lag on that counter. She's on a lag on that counter, like they moving in slow motion. Yeah.
Oh, there's an arm breaker. Right to the spine.
Yeah, you didn't get this shit in 2K19. Like I said, the game, these games need to work on a technical level. There is no excuses with modern technology.
She
there
shoots
is
up
no
the top
excuses.
rope. Dangerous thinking.
It's like you got games that are 10 years old that work better at a technical level when they had actual testers test this shit before they released
End
it.
this match on her terms only.
It was almost all over for her. It does not get much closer to 3
What is she
than
doing?
that. The heaviest artillery has been used, but it's not enough for the 3.
It looks like a kid, like in the crowd, who has his arm stuck over his head. He's like got an X. I don't know what he's doing. But she waiting for a ref time to get down. Oh, she didn't have the range.
Arm in the arm. Oh, and a knee strike. The WWE Universe is showing their appreciation for the action they're seeing.
It has been an absolute
this
war
match not
out
been
there.
in the
These
tie.
superstars'
If
efforts
this
are
match
not
don't
lost
end in
on
like
this
the next
crowd.
few minutes, it's gonna end in a tie. Also, trying to go for the finisher, but she missed with the kick. Okay, now she hits it.
She can't possibly come back from that.
Could be a speak of the devil moment. Like when I said we need to hit in the next few minutes, she gets the pin and the win. But I don't know, I set what's her name's loyalty high enough that she might break this pin if she can get out there fast enough. But the ref's in the way.
And there's the
She breaks
save.
it.
Let's keep fighting. Incoming.
Yep, she throws her out. What she gonna do?
She's tagged in.
See, the only way to get these matches in quicker if you have a tag team where both tag team members have a submission finisher.
Power. Can she do it? Yes.
Because I would say 6 times out of 10 they will get the tap out before the person breaks up the pin. That was the way to I think get wins in my faction, is to make people tap out too. So I love this move. I love this kick to the shin. Flip. Real nice break it up. This match has been crazy. Dude, this match alone, if it reached the 30-minute mark, will probably take up half of my live stream, which is ridiculous.
Tagged into action.
Yeah, I'll have to put this in a studio setting because there's too much light. I love this arena. But for tag teams, laggy. I'm afraid to do a Royal Rumble or anything with like 4 wrestlers in this arena.
I'm sure you do. Tag made. She's in. She's sent flying into the corner.
4 minutes left in this match. Like I said, they're too evenly matched.
Sent to the outside.
Uh-oh, see, this was an OMG, but you could set it as a regular move. I think that was like one of Bailey's moves. I think in 2K19, 2K18, like her OMG. See, when you did an OMG in like 2K19, the crowd would do "This is awesome." So yeah, but you can set OMGs as regular moves, but when they dealt with stuff like the barricades and stuff like that, yeah, you can't set them as regular moves. They should have it where you say, oh, you set them against the barricade, you get a barricade spear. And then they spend like too long fighting outside the ring. If you get too aggressive, like if you set them too aggressive, they will wrestle outside the ring a lot often and longer. And I have my ring out set to 20 seconds, so they'll stay there to like the last 15 seconds. And then if they knock somebody down, they will go back outside the ring to beat on them some more. Because if they're aggressive, it's going to override their heel persona. Because I got some wrestlers that are heel. If they're true heels, they will stay in the ring and wait for the count out. Oh, why did you break the pin again? Luckily, Laura kicked out. See, 4 wrestlers in the ring cause it to get hella laggy.
Uh-oh. What a takedown. Fujiwara armbar.
After the arm.
Actually, I can figure out what body type
Gets tagged in.
Tia is. She doesn't have that jank in the crotch. Like when I put on that same outfit. Oh, that's good. Oh, this might be it. Because what's her name's down there. This might be it. Oh, she kicked out. What the? Oh my God. She kicked out of like 2 finishes.
That was a great opportunity to put this one away.
Yeah, I gotta have my tag team matches set for now. Otherwise, they're gonna go to hurt 30 minutes.
Nice snapmare. Ooh, a chop.
Almost down to the final minute of this tag team match. This is ridiculous.
And up the turnbuckles we go. The target's been acquired once more. That could certainly do it. For the win.
something about that. They should have it to where, well, even though they have the whole when you throw them out the ring, they're stunned. Like if you're playing multiplayer, you know how to do it. Oh again, three of those spinning roundhouses. I don't think she's gonna kick out of this one, but I think Jen is gonna break up the pin. Will Jen break up the pin? Yes, she get there in time. Yes, she does.
That should have been 3.
Oh yeah, this match is gonna end in a tie.
Able to reverse.
This match is crazy. Yeah, you can't do tag team matches with a title. You can't do tag team matches with a title. And I'll probably end this live stream right after this match, just for the fact that my controller says, oh, that's 4 roundhouse kicks to the face, and it's still, this match is still going to end in a tie. Yep, oh, greatest of all time. Yeah, next time I'll have a turn on knockouts. That was the whole 30 in-game 30 minutes, folks. That was nuts. But yeah, as much as like on principle, I do not want to buy 2K23 day one, but my inner gut is telling me, is like, dude, you might have to get this game day one. Like I said, the whole AI, where you can tweak the individual AI of your wrestlers, is a game changer. If you're a person who sim your matches and make created, e-feds and your own, federations in universe mode, that is a game changer. Because I think that's the one thing that the Fire Pro Wrestling games have over these games, and I think it's needed because it puts the whole, I guess, the AI in your hands as the player. Because I know I've been harping on how the AI is bad. It was bad in this game before the latest patches that made it better. But with that whole thing that they're bringing in 2K23, well then that's going to fix a lot of issues with the AI. That's going to fix a lot of issues. We're going to see how it go. The entrance editor looks promising. The roster, it's meh, in my opinion. I think roster-wise, it's kind of meh. Just like, SmackDown vs. Raw 2006, it had heavy hitters, but in my opinion, that roster was kind of meh. It had a bunch of weird kind of wrestlers. The roster wasn't that vast. It did have some good legends. But the gameplay with 2006 and the GM mode and other additions made 2006 better than the first SmackDown vs. Raw game. And so 2K23 is going to be 2K's... Ooh, bless me. SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. I think that's what they're going for. And we'll see how it goes, y'all. But for those of you guys who stopped in and popped out, because some people stopped in and then left, thanks for stopping by. For those of you guys who will watch later, thanks for watching as well. You guys stay safe and God bless.